Well, drug shortages, a problem in the U.S. well before the pandemic. But a new report from the Senate Homeland Security Committee finds that problem is now accelerating at an alarming rate. Listen to this. Between 2021 and 2022, new drug shortages jumped nearly 30%, impacting everything from over-the-counter cold and flu medications for kids to injectable medications and antibiotics. And this report coming amid concerns over an increase in a potentially deadly strain of strep throat. So let's bring in Dr. Krupa Playforth, board-certified pediatrician and creator of the Pediatrician Mom website. Dr. Playforth, thank you so much for your time. I'd like to start with that strain of strep throat being called invasive strep A. How common is it? We know 5 kids here in Illinois have died. Is it rare enough parents shouldn't worry about it, or is this something all parents need to at least be aware of?
I think that parents don't need to panic, but it is important for parents to be aware of the situation. Setting the scene a little bit, the strep that most parents are familiar with is what we call mild to moderate illness, and that is caused by group A, which is the same bacteria that causes invasive group A strep. But the difference with invasive group A strep is that the bacteria is infecting the blood, muscle tissue, lung tissue, and those infections progress really rapidly and can be very serious. However, the CDC, the most recent report said that the rates are anywhere from about 14,000 to 23,000 cases per year. That sounds like a lot, but relatively speaking, it makes it very, very rare. With that said, the infection rates are increasing both here in the US and in other countries compared to pre-pandemic rates. So while I don't think parents should be panicking, because this infection progresses so rapidly, it's really important to monitor your kids. If something seems amiss, you want to seek care quickly.
All right, that's good. Yeah, we certainly don't want to make parents panic, but at least we want to make them aware. So, doctor, we talked about these drug shortages. Right now, the data shows that there is no direct link between a shortage of amoxicillin and this spike in this invasive strep A. But if this is treated with antibiotics, could there be a problem down the line?
Nichole, you're absolutely right that amoxicillin is our drug of choice when it comes to treating mild to moderate cases of group A strep. But it's not the only antibiotic we have. Right now, we have other options, and we're able to treat these illnesses. Obviously, if these drug shortages expand to other antibiotics, then we may have problems down the line.
So let's talk about these overall drug shortages. Increased 30% in just 1 year. Still hard to get children's flu drugs in some places. Also ADHD treatments, antibiotics. What's going on here? I mean, does the U.S. need to rethink how it handles its drug supply?
I think that many parents can attest to the fact that they have had trouble finding even fever reducers in the stores over the past few months. Part of the reason is that the market is affected by the same supply chain issues that we see in other industries and we have seen over the past several months. The difference here is that many of our drugs are produced internationally, which means that if we see labor issues, supply chain issues, other issues in other countries, then that leads to a drug shortage here in the US. So, Nichole, I think the answer to your question is yes. When you're at the point where you're rationing medications, you're unable to treat certain conditions, that is a problem. The U.S. needs to diversify where it's getting its medications to increase transparency around medication pricing and address this because it is becoming a serious problem.
It is. And last question for you, and we don't have much time, but, speaking of diversifying, so these eye drops are linked to a company out of India. 3 deaths now linked to these recalled eye drops. How do Americans know for sure what they're putting in or using on their bodies is safe?
I wish there was a guarantee. We try to maintain standards of safety and sterility, but there are recalls that occur across products, not just medications. In the US, we at least have a good tracking system to pick up on these issues quickly. But I do think it's important for parents and for anyone to know that you only want to use medications when you really need to and only for as long as you need to, because nothing is completely risk-free.
That's a good reminder for us all. Dr. Playforth, the Pediatrician Mom, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.